Yes, students, welcome to the next online video lecture. Today we are going to do one more new formula to find students regression coefficient B. Now we have already studied 4 formula students. This would be the 5th formula students to find the regression coefficient B. The formula is students B is equal to covariance between xy upon sx square. Students, actually this is b by x, so the formula is covariance between xy upon sx square. So here also students, x term always comes in the denominator. If we revise the previous formula, it was dyx is equal to I into sy upon sx. Check, x terms always comes in the denominator students. So this formula is the last formal formula students to find the regression coefficient B. Now let us demonstrate the fact using one or two sum students. Exercise, I am taking exercise 3.2, question number 6. The following information is given for 10 firms running business of clothes in a city regarding their average annual profit in lakhs of rupees and average annual administrative cost in lakhs of rupees. In the question only they have told that profit in lakhs is X and advertisement cost is Y. Students, in the sum itself they have specified that independent variable is profit and dependent variable is cost. Now I did not write X is profit in lakhs rupees and Y is administrative cost, it is already given. If I collect the data, then mean X bar is 60 and mean Y bar is 25. 3.2, sum number 6, mean X bar is 60 and students mean Y bar is equal to 25. Sx is 6, Sy is 3, as such not required, and covariance is 10.4. Students, Sy is given extra, Sy is given as students 3, but we don't require Sy here, so I have not written. Now as usual, the regression line of y on x is y cap is equal to a plus bx. So regression line will be always the same, y cap is equal to a plus bx. Now the formula of b is covariance between xy upon sx square. So 10.4 divided by 36. So this answer students means we can easily get b by x is equal to covariance between xy upon sx square. Okay, so this answer turns out to be 0.29. Now students, a, which is always y bar minus bx bar. What is y bar? 25 minus 0.29 into x bar is 60. So this turns out to be 7.6. Now substituting a and b students, our regression line will be 7.6 plus 0.29x. That's all. So this is our students, the regression line of y on x. Specifically the formula of b used when students covariance between xy and standard deviation of either x or y or both are given. Sy as such not required in the formula. Sometimes that may be understood students as an additional information students. Here Sy is not at all used in the formula. So this is how students we have applied the formula of b when students covariance between xy is given. Now students, similar sums we will do from exercise 3 also. Now I think in section B we don't have, but in section C also we have one sum of this type. and that is sum number 7, which we haven't done, students. Question 6 and 7 we have not done of section C. If the regression line of y on x is y cap is equal to 35 plus 2x and covariance between x, y is 50, find the standard deviation of x. Okay, students. So the same formula will be used. Now here regression line is already given, y cap is equal to 35 plus 2x. Section C, sum number 7, y cap is equal to 35 plus 2x, so byx is 2. Compare this with a plus bx. A is 35 in students, b is 2. The additional information given is covariance between x, y is 50. So I write here covariance between x, y is 50. Now using the formula b is equal to covariance between sx upon upon sx square. So b is 2, covariance is 50 upon sx square. So students, sx square will be 50 by 2, 25. So standard deviation of x is 5. A very important and very easy, students, short sum. This type of questions have been repeatedly asked in the board examination. So students, the last formula of the chapter to find regression coefficient b. Now students, in section D, I think we don't have any formula, means any sum based on this formula. Most of the questions we have done. Yes. Then section E. In section E, students, we have question number 5 that we are doing. Now let me erase this for the time being. Formula all of you have studied. Let us collect the data. The information of investment in lakhs rupees and its market price in lakhs rupees after 6 months in share market in the last 7 years for a mutual fund company is obtained as follows. Okay, investment they have given definitely independent and market price is dependent. Now mean of x is 40 and mean of y is 50. So x bar 40. Section E, sum number 5. X bar is 40 and y bar is 50. Then they have given that variance of x is 100. So Sx will be 10. Variance of y is given as 256, but that is not used in the sum, so I am not writing. And covariance is 80. Covariance between x and y is 80. Obtain the regression line of y on x. Estimate y when x is 45 lakhs. These values are given, students, in lakhs of rupees. So as usual, the regression line of y on x is y cap is equal to a plus bx. B will be covariance between xy upon sx square. So covariance is 80, sx square is 100. So the answer of B is 0.8. Now A is equal to y bar minus bx bar, 50 minus 0.8 into 40. So 8 fours are 32. So 50 minus 32. So this is 80. So our regression line is y cap is equal to a plus bx, 18 plus 0.8 into x. Clear, students? Very easily, students, we have found out the answer. And this all questions are, you can say, very easy, students, once you understand. Now when x is 45, we can estimate the value of y. You substitute here 45. So when x is equal to 45 lakhs, estimate of y is coming to be, students, the price they have given, let us check the units of x and y. The unit of y is, you can say, x and y both is lakhs rupees. Okay, so this turns out to be 54 lakhs rupees. So easily you can use your simple calculator, students, to find the estimate of dependent variable y for a given value of independent variable x. Is this okay, students? I think all of you have understood. Now, students, today's new topic which I am dealing with is the properties of regression coefficient b. Students, this is a very important topic, as we had properties of correlation coefficient r. In the same way, we have properties of regression coefficient b. So we have studied the different properties of r. Same way, students, we are studying properties of regression coefficient b. The first and the foremost, and which is very important property, students, the numerical signs of correlation coefficient r and regression coefficient b are either both positive or both negative. It cannot be that r is positive and b is negative. If r is positive, students, b has to be positive. And if r is negative, students, then b has to be negative. Because we have this formula which we have already studied, students, in the previous lecture. Check, we have studied the formula to find b when r was given, and students, that formula was b by x is equal to r into sy upon sx. So if r was positive, definitely b will be positive, students, because standard deviation sx and sy can never have a negative value. So sy and sx are by default positive, so the ratio sy upon sx will be always positive. So if r is positive, students, b will bear a positive sign, and if r is negative, then b has to bear a negative sign, students. Thus we have to remember these properties are on page 141, students. These properties are given, students, on page 140. Then, students, as we have studied in the shortcut method, that regression coefficient b is only independent of change of origin but not scale. Whereas you know that correlation coefficient r, students, is independent of change of origin as well as scale. Students, we have studied previously that regression coefficient b is only independent of change of origin but not scale. So you know the formula we wrote was b by x is equal to bvu into cy upon cx. So if we divide, we have to compensate it by multiplying by cy upon cx, students. So this is a very good or very important result, that regression coefficient b is only independent of change of origin, students, but not scale. And if you check your textbook page 141, students, a note is given, the most important MCQ, regression line of y on x always passes through the point x bar comma y bar. So if the regression line of y on x is written as y cap is equal to a plus bx, we can write this result as y bar is equal to a plus bx bar. Because in the regression line, I can replace x by x bar, students, and y by y bar. And to demonstrate this fact, we have an example or MCQ 30. The regression line of y on x is y cap is equal to 30 minus 1.5x. MCQ 30, y cap is equal to 30 minus 1.5x. What is the value of y bar if x bar is 10? So when x bar is equal to 10, we have to find y bar. So y bar will be 30 minus 1.5 into x bar. So 30 minus 1.5 into 10, and that is 15. 30 minus 15 is 15. So the correct option is C. So one of the most important MCQ, students, that the regression line of y on x, students, always passes through the point x bar comma y bar. Now two more MCQs demonstrating this formulas. In fact, MCQ 4, students, which we have not done. Which of the following is correct? Byx is equal to r into sy upon sx. No, because Byx is equal to r into sy upon sx. Always in every formula of B, students, we have come across the fact that x terms always comes in the denominator. So the correct formula is D. Byx is equal to, students, r into sy upon sx. Then MCQ 5. The regression line always passes through which point? Just now I told, students, the regression line of y on x, students, always passes through the point x bar comma y bar. So I think we have done almost all the MCQs from questions 1 to 9. And if r is 0, then and then, students, the regression coefficient b will be 0, because Byx is equal to r into sy upon sx. So if r is 0, then by default Byx will be also 0. 10th question we haven't done, 11th we have done, 12th, 13th, 14th, all we have done. So students, only two MCQs, question number 10 and 15, are remaining, which we will be doing in the next lecture, students. MCQ 10 and MCQ 15. A last topic of the chapter is remaining, students, and that is the topic of coefficient of determination. Now, students, in section B, I think all the questions we have done. Then in section C also, I think except question 6, we have done almost all the questions. Then in section D, question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we have done. Student check, we have done the question number 5 also. Students, state properties of regression coefficient. I am repeating, you write these properties in your fair book once and once in your rough book. The first and the foremost property, students, the correlation coefficient R and the regression coefficient B, students, will have same numerical signs. Either both will have a positive value or both will have a negative value. It is not possible, students, that one has positive value and, students, the other has a negative value. Then we have come across this fact before also. The correlation coefficient R is independent of change of origin and scale, whereas the regression coefficient B, students, is only independent of change of origin but not scale. So if we divide, we compensate it by multiplying by Cy upon Cx. And also state the point through which a regression line always passes. Students, just now we have done regression line of y on x, students, always passes through the point x bar comma y bar. Once again I repeat, students, the regression line of y on x always, students, passes through the point x bar comma y bar. So I think in section D, now we are left with only two theoretical questions. Explain coefficient of determination, and second, 7th question, the state precautions which are necessary while using the regression. So after doing, students, coefficient of determination, we can do the precautions while using regression line. Now, students, question number 6 of section F we are doing. Check, this is a long sum as such. Section F sums are, students, long sums, but we can easily do by the formula without making table. So let us check how this sum is done. And mind you students, this question has also been asked in board exam in old paper pattern for 5 marks. So let us check students how the sum is done. Question 6 of section F students I am doing. Obtain the regression line of y on x from the following data and estimate y for x is equal to 30. First, let us collect the data, students. N is given as 10. Sigma x is 250, sigma y is 300. Sigma x is 250 and sigma y is 300. Sigma xy is 7900. And students, sigma of x square is given as 6500. Now here, carefully examining the data, our first step is always saying the regression line of y on x is y cap is equal to a plus bx. That is a common step throughout every sum of regression line, whether it is a long sum, students, or it is a short sum. So the regression line of y on x is y cap is equal to a plus bx. Now which formula fits into this data? Then b is equal to n sigma of xy minus sigma x into sigma y upon n sigma of x square minus sigma x the whole square. Students, this formula fits into the given data. Here we cannot use the shortcut method formula or the formula of R means B involving R or the formula of B involving covariance, because the given data fits into this formula only, irrespective of the values of mean. Now if I substitute the values, we get n is 10, sigma x y is 7900 minus sigma x is 250, sigma y 300 upon n is 10, sigma x square is 6500 minus 250 the whole square, students. So if we simplify and students check the answer, then the answer of B is coming to be 1.6. Now if we find A, then the formula of A is universal, y bar minus bx bar. Now y bar easily you can check, sigma y is 300 upon 10, so y bar is 30. X bar will be 250 upon 10, so 25. This will come on 16, so this will be 30 minus 40, so minus 10. So the regression line is minus 10 plus 1.6 into x. So in regression, nothing else then we have to do to find B and A. Why first B? Because B is required, students, to find A. And after finding A and B, we substitute it in the regression line, students, to get the regression line of y on x. And the regression line has turned out to be minus 10 plus 1.6 into x. Now what they have given, estimate y when x is 30. Now 1.6 into 30. 16 3s are 48, so this is 48 minus 10, so the answer is 38. Check, this should be the answer, that's all. So here, students, regression is made very easy in new textbook. Old textbooks have more concepts of regression were given, students, but in this textbook regression is made very easy, and that is why, students, to score marks weightage of this chapter is very easy. Now we are left with only long sums, students. You know that I cannot accommodate long sums within the small space available with me. So long sums we will be discussing afterwards, as I told you, because for long sums we need more space to write, and long sums are very easy, trust me. It will hardly take a lecture or 2 or 3 lectures to complete that. So students, we are in the vicinity of completing the chapter number 3, which is linear regression. Still, I know many of you are not serious students. Utilize the time, because time is a factor which is always, you can say, constant. We can never save time, we can never reverse time. So be careful, students. Once time is lost, it is lost forever. So when you are at home, you should always concentrate on studies. Better concentrate on all the subjects which are taught online, because this phase of coronavirus may lead us to shortage of time. So afterwards we have to devote more time to the most fundamental chapters of part 2 also. So students, in the next lecture we will do the concept of coefficient of determination, which will be the last formal concept of the chapter in terms of theory. And based on that theory only we have precautions while using regression, students. So once again I request you students to refer all the basic concepts of this chapter. Do today's sums once. These questions were very easy, and any doubts are most welcome. You can call me personally or you can message me, and then call students. We will be solving whatever doubts you have. Thank you, students. Have a nice day.